For decades, Anfield has stood as English football's unconquered ground for Manchester United, a psychological fortress where hope often dissolved into humiliation. The memory of 2016, United's last league victory here, felt like a lifetime ago. But on one indelible night, the narrative was violently ripped up, replaced by a story of grit, tactical mastery, and rebirth. This was the night Ruben Amorim's Manchester United did the unthinkable, defeating their fiercest rivals 2-1, a victory that will not merely be remembered for the 3 points, but for its seismic declaration. This was the spark of hope the Old Trafford faithful had been desperately waiting for. 11 turbulent months under the Portuguese manager had yielded little in the way of tangible progress. Back-to-back league wins, something previously unachieved under his tenure, didn't just signal a corner turned, it announced a new identity. This team, for the first time, played not with fear, but with cold, ruthless conviction. The most immediate testament to Amorim's genius was the opening goal, just 2 minutes in. It wasn't a moment of individual brilliance alone, it was the clinical execution of a meticulously planned ambush. As Liverpool's defensive structure briefly fractured, a collision between Virgil van Dijk and Alexis Mac Allister, Bryan Mbeumo sliced through the resultant gap like a hot knife, latching onto Amad Diallo's precise pass and finishing with chilling composure. It was a goal that screamed intent, fast, clinical, and striking directly at a known defensive frailty. But the real tactical victory lay in what followed. Amorim didn't fall into the trap of reckless pressing. He understood that matching Liverpool's famed intensity on their own turf was suicide. Instead, United displayed remarkable patience and control. They weren't passive, they were disciplined. Amorim's system was a lesson in seamless shape-shifting. In attack, they held a disciplined 3-4-3, but the moment possession was lost, they snapped back into a compact 5-4-1 defensive wall. This was the key, denying Liverpool the open, chaotic spaces they thrive on in transition. As even Van Dijk conceded post-match, "I think they were very patient. They didn't press us high, but they didn't let us on the ball." This wasn't just a physical battle, it was a victory of brains over brawn, where intelligence smothered rhythm. The decision to deploy a back five was fundamental, but the execution was everything. This wasn't a static defense, it was an adaptive shield. The core principle was vertical compactness. By playing with a high line when possible, but dropping swiftly and cohesively when needed, United prevented the dangerous vertical passes from midfield that unlocked Liverpool's wide forwards. The fullbacks, operating as wingbacks in attack, showed incredible defensive discipline. Their primary instruction was not to bomb forward simultaneously, but to track Liverpool's wide threats, specifically pinning the likes of Cody Gakpo and keeping them out of the half spaces. This attention to detail ensured that when Liverpool did try to overload the wings, United always had a defensive triangle, the centre-back, the wing-back, and the nearest central midfielder, to snuff out the danger. Matthijs de Ligt's commanding presence alongside Maguire offered the perfect blend of aggression and tactical positioning. De Ligt, composed and alert, was the organizing voice, constantly adjusting the line, while Maguire provided the aerial dominance and raw physical challenge needed against Liverpool's set-piece threat and late crosses. The only goal conceded came from the kind of overwhelming, sustained pressure that eventually breaks any defense, not from a lapse in concentration or a structural flaw. A stark contrast to the United defenses of recent years. The defensive reborn was not accidental, it was engineered. This victory was defined by two themes: redemption and revelation. At the heart of the redemption story was Harry Maguire. Once the lightning rod for all of United's defensive failures and public ridicule, he became the unlikely, towering hero. His thunderous, match-winning header from a Bruno Fernandes cross sealed the victory, but his overall performance was a defensive masterclass. 8 clearances and 10 duels won paint a picture of sheer, unyielding determination. Amorim's faith in the experienced centre-back was vindicated, shattering public skepticism and proving that the manager values steel and experience in high-stakes environments. Equally compelling was the revelation of Senne Lammens. Thrust into the cauldron of a derby debut, the young Belgian goalkeeper played with a composure that belied his 22 years. His string of vital saves, including a remarkable one-on-one stop to deny Alexander Isak, kept United's narrow lead intact during Liverpool's inevitable second-half onslaught. Lamens didn't just save shots, he radiated confidence, settling the entire backline. His instant impact highlights Amorim's sharp eye for talent and his fearless trust in potential. Further up the pitch, Matheus Cunha delivered a striker's performance that transcended the stat sheet. As the lone forward, his relentless movement, drifting wide, dropping deep, pressing intelligently, was the engine that knitted United's attack together in the first half, and crucially, served as their invaluable outlet under second-half pressure. His intelligence in holding up the ball, drawing fouls, and expertly slowing the tempo was the unsung masterstroke that ensured the win wasn't just held, but earned. While the goals grabbed the headlines, the battlefield was truly won in the central areas. Amorim's midfield trio, anchored by a disciplined holding player and flanked by the box-to-box dynamism of Bruno Fernandes and the tireless work rate of Mason Mount, was exceptional. Their task was complex: to be compact defensively, protecting the back five, but to be the springboard for the counter-attacks. Fernandes, wearing the armband, controlled the tempo when United had possession, but his most vital contribution was his defensive commitment. He consistently dropped deep to form a screen, cutting off the passing lanes through the middle. Mount's role was particularly instructive. Often criticized for a lack of defining position, here he was the perfect link man. His ability to drop deep to support the defensive anchor one moment and then surge forward to link with Mbeumo and Cunha the next was crucial. He provided the glue that prevented the team from splitting into distinct defensive and offensive units, ensuring United remained a single, cohesive unit capable of both smothering and striking. The midfield's ability to win the ball back and immediately find the running of Mbeumo or Diallo was the difference between defending and transition. Amorim's construction of the front line has provided the crucial balance the team has craved. Bryan Mbeumo, already a vital component, showcased his immense value. His opener was not just a great finish, but a demonstration of instinct, the ability to read chaos and punish mistakes. He forms a fluid, interchangeable front three, alongside Mason Mount and Amad Diallo. Mount provides the essential balance and steel, screening the midfield and cutting off transitions, while Diallo, repurposed from a wingback, acts as a creative inside threat, constantly looking to combine centrally. This trio offers the perfect blend of pace, structure, and intelligence. By opting for this mobile front three over the muscle of Benjamin Šeško, a decision seemingly aimed at beating Liverpool through sharpness and movement rather than physicality, Amorim demonstrated his situational acuity. This victory was more than a scoreline. It was an act of psychological liberation. Amorim himself framed it perfectly. That was the biggest win in my time at Manchester United. The spirit was there, and that is the most important thing. If you have the spirit, you can win any game. The team fought with a unified conviction. The chaos and self-inflicted wounds of the past were replaced by discipline and cohesion. They withstood the Anfield storm, conceded only to overwhelming pressure, and held their structure firm. After years of heartbreak, Manchester United finally stood tall on enemy soil, breaking a near-decade-long curse. While Liverpool sinks deeper into crisis, United quietly closes the gap, propelled by the belief that this win instilled. Beyond the immediate result, the significance of this win lies in the blueprint it provides. For the first time under Amorim, the United faithful can see a clear, repeatable identity. It is one built on tactical intelligence, defensive organization, and ruthless efficiency in transition, qualities that have long been absent. The successive wins over Sunderland and now Liverpool have not just broken a psychological wall regarding back-to-back victories. They have shown that this team can win ugly, win smart, and win under the most extreme pressure. The true test is sustainability. Winning at Anfield is a magnificent achievement, but replicating that discipline against lesser opposition and maintaining the focus when the pressure is off will define Amorim's tenure. He must continue to place his faith in the rejuvenated Maguire, solidify the goalkeeper position with the emerging Lamens, and find new ways to utilize the versatile front line. This victory was a surge of belief for players and fans alike. Amorim is now building a team that dares to believe again. The question is no longer whether he is the right man, but whether this singular, historic night will be remembered as a fleeting moment of hope or the true igniting spark of a lasting Manchester United revival. This victory wasn't merely 3 points. It was the establishment of a new standard, a declaration that the slumber is over and the giant is finally beginning to stir.